Hello everyone, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Abe.
And I'm Amanda.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Ralph Breaks the Internet from 2018.
Ralph Breaks the Internet is the most fun you'll have in the theater all year.
Park it right here! Wow, that didn't work.
And now you can see it again.
I feel good about this.
You're welcome.
Ralph Breaks the Internet. Rated PG.
Ralph Breaks the Internet stars John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman, Gal Gadot, Jane Lynch, and is directed by Rich Moore. The plot of Ralph Breaks the Internet is that Ralph and fellow misfit Vanellope risk it all by traveling to the World Wide Web in search of a part to save her game Sugar Rush. But they're way in over their heads, so they must rely on citizens of the internet, including Yes, the head algorithm and heart and soul of all trending market site BuzzTube, and Shank, a tough-as-nails driver from the gritty online racing game Slaughter Race, to help them navigate their way. What are my positives with Ralph Breaks the Internet? Honestly, for me, for one, the animation is still pretty good. I really did dug the animation still. It's on par with the animation of the first movie. Also, the pacing of this film is actually not bad. This film clocks in at 1 hour and 52 minutes and did not feel like that. Also, I did feel there was some stuff that was, like, I do like some of the new characters, like Shank, and that, and just some world stuff, like, for example, I find it funny, that, like, some of the dark stuff they do with the whole online racing game Slaughter Race and that. It's just a dark, gritty place, and honestly, some of the jokes they do was kind of hilarious. I also do like some of the concepts they bring up with this, like, about, like, Ralph's insecurities and stuff like that, but I do have some issues with that, but we'll get to that in my negatives. I also liked it when, they bring in certain characters from other Disney properties, and they even brought back the original voice talents. Like, for example, they brought in, I think, practically every Disney princess character there is, even one from Pixar's Brave and that, which I have yet to see that movie, by the way. But basically, they got all the original voice talents, so it was kind of nice to see that. And even stuff like, Star Wars, they brought in Stormtroopers and add C-3PO voiced by Anthony Daniel. So yeah, just so many people coming back to voice their original characters and that. I do like the idea of them trying to poke fun at some of their cliches, like during the whole scene with the Disney princesses, they tried to poke fun at all their cliches and that. Like, there is some funny stuff between Feel It, Fix It, like the character Feel It, Fix It, and Jane Lynch's character. That I thought was kind of funny, because it's like, they're now married and that, and they, because of the fact that Sugar Rush is, about to go to crap, basically, they end up adopting these kids and that, kind of raise them as their children and that, so 15 children technically, and that stuff was kind of funny, actually, so I'm sure that stuff would be funny, especially for parents. But honestly, for me, these are my only positives. What are my negatives with Ralph Breaks the Internet? Honestly, for me, the biggest issue is that this is a Disney movie focusing on trying to make, clever commentary or poking fun at stuff with the internet. And the reason I have issue with this is because I don't think, if you're Disney, you can't really necessarily go all out with that. Like, for example, there's stuff that I think could have been interesting, like Ralph ends up looking at, like, because he was doing some videos to make money for the part, like meme videos and that, or viral videos to make money, and he ends up looking in his comment section, for all of his videos, and start to get some troll comments, like, which I'll admit, I've gotten comments like this, like, stuff like Ralph stinks or, stuff like that. And it starts to get to him in that. And his insecurities start to show more and more throughout the film. And honestly, I feel like, again, with the fact of Disney, they have to play it safe. You can't do stuff like, just really dark stuff even in regards to the internet and, showing the bad side effects of the internet. Or even showing the... Now, I think Disney could do a good job of showing the positivities of, what comes out from the internet. But I don't think they could really necessarily do that well with, the horrible side effects of the internet. Without just saying, screw the kids. And knowing that, another problem I have with this idea is that they end up using it for product placement. And there's a lot of product placement here. It's like, you got stuff with Facebook, YouTube, well, technically online video sites. You got eBay, Amazon, Fandango, Instagram, Snapchat. And knowing that, even Disney tries to sell itself in this movie. Like, there's a Disney Go app, or whatever it's called, and it shows stuff with Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, Marvel, without really doing much with it. Like, they try to poke fun at the Disney cliches and that, but they don't go anywhere with it. And honestly, my biggest complaint, like I said, is the fact that, because of the fact that it's a Disney film, they're limited to the possibilities of what they could do with this idea. As far as making clever commentary or, poking fun of stuff with the internet. There's like a decision in this movie, like they did something with this movie I felt like was really much of a portrayal of the first film. Kind of makes the first film completely and utterly pointless. And it's, without giving too much away, Vanellope feels like she's missing something in that. So she enters into this one game, and wants to basically stay there and that. And, it's like, screw my previous game, which also renders the plot of this film kind of pointless too. If you really think about it, because the whole plot of this movie is, like, for the whole reason for them to go to the internet is to buy a part for their game that was broken, like a replacement part. And I just felt like this kind of rendered all of the first movie pointless, and all of, like, most of this movie pointless too. And knowing that, they end up turning Vanellope into, like, a cliche Disney princess. Yeah, I know technically she's a princess, and that's what's showed in the first film, but to me, she wasn't like a average Disney princess or anything like that. And I started growing, like, she started out annoying, like I said, but she started to kind of grow on me. I did end up liking her as a character, and I felt like this was kind of a portrayal of her character too. I mean, she eventually ends up having, like I said, a Disney princess cliche type song sequence. I mean, it sung nice in that, but that's just not who Vanellope was. But honestly, for me, those are my only negatives. So with that said, I'm going to give Ralph Breaks the Internet a 3 out of 5 stars. Now, it's kind of mixed for me. There's some elements I really do like, but some elements I really like. But at the same time, some of those elements didn't really pay off or wasn't explored well. And there were some choices in this movie I felt portrayed, the first movie, and made that film totally pointless as well, made most of this film totally pointless as well. And knowing that, another thing I like that is that this film didn't feel totally structured, whereas the first film, it did. This one, it was just all over the place. So, clearly I did not like it as much as the first film, but there was and I thought it was going to be awful or just bad in general, not even close to okay, but honestly, this was a surprise for me. I thought it was just okay, It could have been much worse, than it did. I think it's a better movie than, let's say, the Emoji Movie, which tried to do the same thing. So, like, for me, I would rather watch this over the Emoji Movie any day. But there's still a lot of issues that really kept it from being as good as the first film, if not better for me. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.